Hey, are you feeling angry? Doesn't feel good, does it? A lot of energy. So tight together in your body. And you might want to explode verbally or move. And then you hardly can contain it. Yeah, I get it. It's very hard when you're feeling angry. Okay, but let's just do a little experiment. Let's just close our eyes for a moment and see and tune in to our feelings. See how we feel and listen to the message that it brings. So close your eyes and ask yourself, what am I feeling? And the obvious answer would be angry. Okay, why am I feeling angry? Just ask that and allow the answer to come to you. Why am I feeling angry? I'm going to give you a few minutes so that you can allow that message to come to you. Keep your eyes closed because it's easier to tune yourself to your message. I'll just wait here for a few minutes. Why are you feeling angry? So pause this video if you want to continue exploring the source of anger and the message that it brings to you. And whatever message it comes to you is valid. You are feeling angry and you have valid, genuine reasons to feel this way. However, if you need further time just to sit with the emotion, then just sit with the emotion for a little longer so you understand the message and what's important. Because any message, either any negative message, any negative emotion, and even positive emotion, does bring us answers. It's an insight. It's a very resourceful insight to our ways of thinking, to our values, to our needs. And we get to, when we listen to them, we get to identify what is it that is important to us. What does this mean to us? And what is it that we need? So by listening to it over time, again and again, each time you're upset or even joyful or positive and neutral, if you listen to your emotions and ask, how am I feeling and why am I feeling this way? You get to know yourself a little bit more. And in time you'll start recognizing patterns. And out of those patterns you'll get to know yourself a little bit further, a little bit more of what is important. And then you can find solutions towards having your needs met in a more helpful manner. So without having to get upset. And if there's something you can do about it, then you proactively do them. And if there's something you can't do, if it's beyond your control, then you might want to learn a coping skill or mechanism, even if it's just breathing into the belly. Like breathe in and slowly out, just to help your nervous system calm down. And again, breathe in and slowly out. One more. Feel the belly. Empty the belly. Before you do the exercise, you also want to check how is your breathing. You might notice, how am I breathing? And you notice it will be very shallow or very rapid. But you want to encourage that breathing to come into a more coherent state. Let's help it. Breathe into the belly through the nose. And slowly out. Well done. Try again. In. And out. Well done, you. Let's try one more. Breathe in. And out. If you got too much momentum, you might want to let it out with a sort of shake it out and let that energy, that anger come out of your chest. Breathe in. See if that helps a little. So, you have made time to listen to your message, to identify your emotion. By closing your eyes, you have made time to heard and listen to what is it made you upset. And you have made the time to check on your breathing. And you've made the time to breathe a little deeper, a little slower. And you made the time to shake it off. And even stamp, breathe in. Stamp and move to shake things further. Breathe in. Just to help release further energy from the body. Because when you're angry, the blood goes to extremities, so that it's ready for you to fight. Or you might freeze, okay? Or become so sort of feeling powerless with no energy. Might want to hide. It's the fight, freeze, flight mode. So you have the cortisol, the adrenaline in the body, and you want to release it. If you can, go for a walk, do some yoga, or any moves, anything that allows you to allow that energy out. Breathe in. Just let it all out. Okay? Now, sometimes we feel angry because, or often, we have this automatic evaluation of the situation. Our brain doesn't even think, it doesn't give you a moment to think if this is rational or not. Just an automatic reaction to the situation, because if your body was in danger, you wouldn't have time to think. If it was good or bad, you would want an automatic, quick reaction, and it happens faster than you can think of. So it might be that you're making an evaluation where you perceive a loss, a wrong, a disrespect, where perhaps you perceive that your needs are not being met. And you'll feel worse. You'll feel more angry, and you start maybe attributing. You might start saying that the reason for your anger is someone else's, is blaming someone else's. It might even be blaming yourself or blaming the circumstances. But let's just, instead of blaming, just say, perhaps I have contributed, perhaps someone else has contributed, perhaps the circumstances have contributed towards this outcome. But who knows? It could be worse. Now, I tend to, when I'm upset, to go for a walk. And then in my head I go, yeah, this is, first I'm upset because of this and that and the other. And I let it all out. Okay, so let's allow this exercise. I'm upset because, breathe in. I'm upset because, and allow all the answers. Pause the video. Why are you upset? You already found this at the beginning. If you need further time, I'm upset because. Why are you upset? Pause the video if you need further time. Then the next exercise I do when I'm upset is to, it could be worse. It could be worse. And then you think things that could make this circumstance worse. It could have been worse. And I think of ways that perhaps this could be worse. And think of one of two exercises that you could think of one or two examples you think could be worse. Pause the video if you need further time. Then the next thing I tend to do is to think about what is it that is good in this circumstance, in the situation. So what are the positives in this moment, in this situation? Breathe in. What are the positives in this moment, in this situation? Pause the video if you need further time. So by going through this exercise, you are acknowledging how you feel. You're checking in with your breathing, and you are supporting your breathing into a deeper, slower, more coherent manner. So you're slowing down your nervous system. You're also acknowledging all the worst and all the bad, and you are not just putting the fault at yourself or others or circumstances. You're taking some responsibility. You're sort of acknowledging without pointing fingers, and even saying, I am responsible for this, or I'm not fully responsible, but I had a contribution, I played a part on this. Or don't make yourself a victim or just blame others, because that energy doesn't go anywhere. And also do the exercise, this could be worst, and think of the things that could be worst. So this way, when we think this is bad, that could be something even worse. Okay, and if it's worst, actually you haven't had it as bad. Okay, and sometimes you need perspective and time to know if things really are as bad as they are, because often, or many times in time, you look back and say, yeah, that was bad, but now I'm better for having gone through the experience, or as a result of the experience, many good things came out of it, and I became a stronger, more resilient person. And we also have to accept that life has ups and downs. It's just a fact of life. Additionally, by focusing on the positives of the situation, what is good, instead of bringing our energy and our attention to something a bit more neutral and positive, rather than giving the full focus to the negative. Okay, so help us move, shifting from that heavy negative focus to a more neutral positive. And also about the future. How do we think, how does this impact me in the future? If you think that's always going to be like this and it's going to have a terrible consequence, then you'll feel anxious. Okay, and you don't want to feel anxious about the future. If you want to avoid that. It's just only that energy only grows and gets worse, and then it's paralyzing and it's a torture while alive. You don't want that. So breathe in. And let's wish that in the future and today and as we go along, we'll have the capability, and sometimes we don't know the answers, but somehow things will fall into place. Somehow you'll be able to develop coping skills. Somehow answers will come to you. Somehow things will work themselves up. In times, out of any experience, there's always positives and negatives. So it will be different. You don't know how things will turn up. Yes, there'll be negative things, that's a fact, but equally there'll be positives which you can't anticipate and foresee now, and those positives will somehow balance the negatives. So you won't be so bleak. So you want to go into, yes, maybe, or definitely there'll be negatives. Realistic. But I've lived long enough and I know that there are positives even in a negative situation. If you don't know that, just start paying attention. And then in time, perspective, time is a great healer. So, and things will just become a different kind of experience. It doesn't mean that one is necessarily better than the other. Just with each one has positives, and we want to focus on the positives of each experience. Breathe in. And breathe out. Feel the belly. And slowly out. Feel the belly. And slowly out. Feel the belly. And slowly out. Inhale the belly further. And slowly out. Well done, well done, well done you. I hope that you're feeling a little bit more calmer, a little bit more neutral or uplifted. And then from this calmer, more neutral state, if you need to do something else, like exercise to release the further tension, or breathe a bit longer, or get distracted with something positive for a while, or get some rest, or even ask for help if you're struggling with your anger and your anger is destroying your health and those of others and your relationships, speak with your health care provider so they can support you. There are many different solutions, and you can find the one that suits your needs and values, and you'll be better for it in the long term, and you'll feel better, you'll have more satisfaction. So do seek help if it's destroying your health and your relationships. And smile in appreciation for the fact that our breathing helps us calm down. If you can't master smile, if it's too much, just say thank you. Thank you, nervous system, for calming down. And then with the knowledge that you have learned how to observing your thoughts, then you can speak assertively with anyone that may be involved. You can make amendments, apologizing perhaps by any reaction you might have that might have been out of proportion, or perhaps acted in anger. And now from a place of assertiveness, you can express your needs, your requests, and then give a chance for others to talk and listen to them, so you can find a solution that suits everyone. And equally find other solutions that are within your control, and then let go of the things that are beyond your control. Simply let go. Don't waste your time, energy and focus. Use your time and energy to focus on things that are good for you. Bye for now. You will grow, and sometimes it doesn't mean giving up on someone or something. So if you got a kid and you keep on getting angry, it might mean that you might have to keep on practicing being patient, and see that as a test to continue to practice being patient. Each time you're challenged, it's an opportunity to practice being patient. Each time you get angry, it's an opportunity to practice using the skills of breathing, of focusing, to stay patient, to continue to be patient. So in the long term, you become more and more resilient. So it does not go to waste. It's a skill that will bring many benefits to you and those that you encounter. Your kid is making you angry, breathe in. This is an opportunity to practice my patience skills. And you repeat and you do as many times. And if you can't cope, then move yourself away from the situation until you can feel yourself a bit calmer. And from a calm point of view, then you start again. If you're in danger, speak with your healthcare provider, so that physically or mentally, so that you or anyone that may be threatening to you can be supported. So there's help out there. Don't fight battles on your own if they're bigger than you can handle. And at different stages of your life, you might have different energy levels and you might need assistance. So it's not a weakness, not a sign of weakness, it's not a sign of embarrassment. Anyone can be helped, and everyone will benefit in the longer term. Bye for now. Light of love. Big hug. Bye. May you find calm and peace whenever you need.